that the monitor?
Well, it can be.
Because I told Dakota's.
Oh, no, here, this one.
After this, kids, go to bed. Beds. Be good for Nana.
How old's Dakota?
She's 4.
And then up after that?
She's the boss. She's the small boss.
She runs the show?
Oh, totally. She runs the house. You know the way the babies always run the house, like. And then Molly's 8. She's making her first communion on the 9th, and Taylor's making his confirmation on the 29th, so my hands are full with all that. And then the album coming out, you know, so it's all a bit mad.
That's your other child.
But it's lovely. I totally love having the kids.
And who's looking after them tonight now?
My mother.
Your mother. She's the all-important granny
Nana,
doing the arms. Nana, you get her. Did motherhood change you dramatically, or was it just another step in your life? I mean, did you become a different human being, do you think?
Yeah, I think you know, it changed me a lot, because I think that, you know, I always had this like idea when I was a kid growing up, like, oh, when I grow up I want to be a rock star, join a rock band, blah blah blah. But I did that, and it all happened, and I was the most miserable person in the world. And like, I remember the biggest hit the Cranberries had was Zombie, and it was #1 in 26 countries, and I was so lonely. But then the penny dropped. It was like lonely at the top. Now I know what that means. I was miserable because I had no friends, and I didn't go out, and I just lived in hotels. So I kind of realised that that's not what it's all about.
Who do you call when you're that lonely?
I don't know.
You must have a phone number that you call. You know, you have to. You need somebody when you're that bad. When you're that.
No, I was totally cut off. Like seriously, I just called my parents. That was it.
That's
like at that stage. Yeah, but then you know, and that all passed and stuff like that. But I remember that having kids was kind of the moment where I realised that, you know, when you're young yourself, you think this is what you want to do with your life, and that'll be the answers. Like if you're going to be the rock star and have your fame and have your success.
Yeah.
But I just found that it wasn't the answer. I wanted more. And then when I started having children, I just found that was really cool, having a family. And funnily enough, like, it's the simple things that really like mean a lot.
Back to basics. I mean, we've been down to food with Richard, saying that the times are bad and people are returning to basics. And you were at the pinnacle of your career, and you felt it was back to basics.
Back to basics,
kids
simple stuff. You know, at the end of the day.
Can I ask you about that slightly awkward moment that you had in your life with the nanny situation, that it went to court and so on? What happened there?
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
But I mean, that was just, you know, honest to God, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see it, man. That was just all about cash. You know what I mean?
Well, recap it briefly for us in the sense that
well, you know what? It was going on for years, because she worked for me when my son was 2. He's 11 now. And it was going on behind the scenes, the threat, like the game, celebrity, blackmail, whatever you call it, you know. And it was like, if you don't give me 180 grand, I'm going to say blah, 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 blah. And it was like, you know what? I wouldn't give you a fiver. I wouldn't pay anyone for telling lies, lads, you know what I mean? Honest to God, like... And you know what I thought as well? What? You know what I thought as well? I thought, you know... You remember Michael Jackson had a situation as well where he had a lawsuit and everyone was going, oh, he settled out of court before. If you kind of settle out of court, it could...
Suspicion.
Something to hide.
Right.
And I thought, I've nothing to hide, right? And I'm going to fight this. And my lawyers were saying to me, you know, if you give her 200 grand, she'll go away. And I was like, I'm not paying anyone to go away when they're making up crap about me, you know. So I said, look, at the end of the day, I don't care what it costs. This is about principle. Yeah. I'm not fighting over a pair of shoes. I'm defending my family. Somebody's trying to disregard my family name, and I'm going to stand up and fight. So I did it. It was difficult. It was hard. But you know what? If it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger. So I went through it. But what kind of pees me off about the system is that at the end of the day, it cost me 500 grand to defend myself, $500,000.
It's a lot of money.
And supposedly... she's supposed to pick up the cost, but, you know, I never see it. But it was never about money. Yeah. But I tell you, if it was the other way around, and if she won, I'd have people banging on my door going, oh, you better pay, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
you were fortunate that you were in a position to afford to defend your own name.
I was fortunate, but then you see that the trappings of fame and celebrity status, these are the things that, you know, you're not prepared for. Grass is always greener at the other side. It looks great. Oh, God, you this... But, you know, you're kind of a target. Yeah. And it sets you up, but it puts you in a position in life that these things occur to you that you could never foresee, you know?
I think I met you about 4 or 5 years ago. No, maybe longer. And you were, I don't know what stage you were in the world, but you were a little shyer, if maybe it's that the word I would use. But you just seem very relaxed and very happy this evening.
I'm chilled out. I mean,
you do seem
that's
to be.
The thing. I mean, as you get older, right, okay, stuff sags, everything starts sagging and you get wrinkles and all that, right? But you kind of think at the end of the day, you know, if you could get the old head and put it in the young shoulders, that would be brilliant. But they always say you can't put an old head in young shoulders. But as I get older, what I do like about getting older is that you kind of start to figure things out, and you start to relax, and you start to enjoy life, and you start to get to know yourself a bit better.
Did you make a conscious decision to look after your own kids then and say, look, that's it?
I did.
Did
that
you?
was it. Oh Jesus!
Why did that?
It made me really, God Almighty. I mean, there was a load of stuff that came out like that unfolded during that whole case, like, and it was like, at the end of the day, I seriously didn't know the individual, so I was kind of. You know, there's a good thing that came out of it. I was like very apprehensive about bringing anyone into my life or near my kids again. It was like, and in a way, I suppose, you know, it made me decide that, you know, I'm going to give up the singing career. I might do the odd tour and just a little bit now and again, because I feel it's in me, it's in my nature, it's one of my gifts.
It's an outlet for you as well.
Yes, it's an artistic outlet, it's an expressive outlet, and it's kind of part of who I am. But also, when you have children, you know, it's a beautiful gift. Not everybody, you know, not everybody is blessed with the ability to create children or to be fertile or whatever. And when you have them, it is a gorgeous gift.
And you're grateful for it as well.
Very grateful.
And the other, you mentioned there, the new album, an album coming out in, when did you say, August, is it?
It's actually coming out in America in July, and it's coming out in Europe in August.
And will we see you on stage? Will you be touring? Will you be doing all sorts of shenanigans with it, or are you going to go low key?
I'll play it by ear. Like if you know, I'll fire it out there, and if it sticks onto the wall, I'll go and do a few gigs or whatever. We have to see. It's kind of like gambling, rock and roll. You kind of throw it out there, and you know, if it's like if it's catching on, like deadly, go on the road, you know. But it was funny. I was coming out tonight, and it's my first time doing an interview, right, for a year and a half, right. And I goes to my son, I was all dolled up, and the baby was going, oh, baby, where'd you get all those clothes, like, because I'm always in tracksuits, like, and I'm like, upstairs in my closet. And I said to the young fella, I said, so what do you think? And I showed him my gear, he's 11, and he goes, oh, it's really nice, Mommy. And he goes, yeah, but have you got a cardigan? Cover yourself, will you? You know, I swear. So, you know, your kids turn into...
You're so embarrassing.
I know, it's like, Mom.
They're
not used to that.
You're so embarrassing.
It's pretty funny.
I've really enjoyed seeing you on the show tonight. Come back and see us again.
I will, of course.
Dolores O'Riordan, Thank you so much. All right, then. Thank you. It's time now. What do you think of this audience? They're nice, aren't they?
I don't know.
They're a lively bunch.
They're chilled out. Lovely.
You should try hearing them sing. Time for our audience game. Now, this week's prize comes in two parts. If you're very, very